everyone, my name's Praveena and welcome to iDenti-Tea with Praveena. It's been a while, but this guest that I've got on today's episode is one person I've been wanting to talk to for a long time. He's been extremely inspiring to me in how he's taken on his creative journey. And I always say every creative individual has a very unique journey in how they carry out their art. And it's even more special when individuals take and turn their ambition into something awakening. And this is one such guest. Everyone knows in our Tamil community, MJ Melodies. Now, that's how we all got to know him in the commercial Tamil music independent scene. He created so many of the tunes that we're still vibing to at the moment. But his life and his journey has taken a huge change and turn, and he's now doing some inspiring work which goes beyond the fame and is leading to faith. So I am extremely thrilled to welcome MJ to iDenti-Tea with Praveena.
Thank you, Praveena. It's a pleasure to be here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And thank you very much for doing this. I know
No worries.
we've been wanting to have this chat for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and you've done some amazing work. I've obviously watched you for years now.
Yep.
Tell me a bit about your music journey and how it started.
Well, I grew up in a Christian background with my family, so I was always involved in some kind of music. And my brother, he used to play the drums at a young age. And at the age of 5, this old auntie in church, she bought me like a tabla. So I used to play that until it breaks. And my family were like, oh, it's so interested in music. Like, where did this come from? And then it grew into a passion when I started doing music during my GCSE time. And my dad, he brought a keyboard to the house. Before I was a drummer, but he brought a keyboard to the house. And I was the only one who was very interested in the keyboard for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I used to just play random stuff, see what sounds nice. And then one day I played a song and everyone was like, oh, where did you learn this? I was like, I don't know. So I sort of got addicted to it. I used to take my keyboard, sit in my room, lock the door, and just put headphones in and play. And my mum would shout at me like, why are you not eating? Why am I doing anything else? You're just stuck on the keyboard all day. But that dedication is what led to me to bring this passion into like a proper career. And yeah, that's how I really got into the music. Nice. And how did you get into kind of the commercial Tamil independent music scene?
Mm.
Okay, so like regards to stepping into the independent scene, it started off with me putting out covers. So I used to put out piano covers for like English songs, and then this was during like sixth form time. And my friends were all like, oh, like you always do English music, why don't you try Tamil music? And the thing is, I wasn't really interested in Tamil music because I didn't really listen to it.
Yeah.
But my friends were like, oh no, you should try it, listen to it. So I started putting some Tamil stuff out, and people were like, oh, like this is really good, like you should actually try making the original music, like you should get a singer and stuff. And by me putting stuff out, connections started to happen. I started to get like a group of people who I could solid work with, and started to release stuff out. I had like a little label under my name. I had 5 artists, and I used to train them. I used to do studio sessions with them, release their music, and through their songs, like it reached out to other people, and then I started to get out there as a music producer rather than just a pianist, like a cover pianist.
Okay, nice. Yeah. And just to go back to, playing the piano, for example, were you formally taught, and what was your training, if any, or was it self-taught?
Honestly, I had no training at all.
Really?
I never went to a single lesson. So I just believe it's a gift from God, to be honest, because I was never a pianist. I always used to play drums. Like drums was that was my main thing. And just no one in the family knew how to play keyboard or piano. So yeah, I would have to say it's a gift.
Yeah, for sure. Because you are amazing when it comes to playing the piano. And I've seen and heard so much of your music. How do you criticize yourself or give yourself feedback? Because when we're artists and we've got a trainer, like I come from like a Bharatanatyam background, so I've always had someone giving me feedback. How is it for you when you've been self-taught? How is that kind of feedback process for you?
Okay, in terms of feedback, whenever I make a song, I always send it to like, I have like a group of people who I'll send it to, and I know these people will be honest with me, because as much as like the people listening to my music always say, okay, it's good, it's good. I need people who are going to be honest with me, because that's where there's room for growth.
Yeah.
If everyone's just saying yes to you, you're not going to grow.
Yeah.
So I have like a people who listen to my music and just be like, okay, like, you shouldn't put this out, or you should put this out. So that really helped me grow as a person and grow as a like music producer. Also seeing other people, but there was a stage in my life where I sort of stopped listening to Tamil music fully because I felt like I didn't want to be inspired by anyone else.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I don't want to make anything which was too similar to anyone, and I don't want that name coming into me. Like I want, if it's gonna be my idea, it has to be from fresh. It has to be something that I created. So yeah, it was like a back and forth process. But yeah, that's how I say.
And you were in the Tamil kind of independent music scene for years, and you were doing it full time. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I transitioned from just putting content out there into a full-time career. I had my own studio in central London. I had management. I had like a roll of artists every month, and yeah, things were going really good. Opportunities were coming.
Yeah. And how was it being a Tamil music producer in the commercial Tamil independent scene?
First of all, I never thought I would be commercial. I never thought that I would achieve what I achieved through having MJ Melodies, like having like big labels and like meeting like huge artists that I used to listen to when I was little. But for me, it was just like, how do I say it? It's a bit overwhelming because sometimes, like for example, one example of what really pushed me into the spotlight was my remix of iDenti-Tea. It was a song that was trending, and I had some time between a session, and I was like, okay, cool, let me try flip this song. I put it out there, and it hit millions of streams. It's still going, and through there, I had like other like big music labels in India reach out to like, we want you to remix your things. And for me, it was just like, I'm just sat at home in my house, but the music is going global, and it's like, there was just so much, I wouldn't say pressure, but it was just like so much expectation. Yeah. And I had to meet that expectation. Like every day I have to wake up, I have to be like, okay, cool, what's happening today? You need to hit this before anyone else jumps on it. So yeah, it was a like positive, but obviously had these negatives as well. Yeah.
And if you don't mind me asking, how old were you when that happened? Like, you know, your music going global, your mixes going global?
I'll probably say around 23 to 20. Yeah, 23.
That's young.
Yeah,
that is young.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it? Or you did mention, you touched upon it, but how did you feel kind of, and how did it affect you mentally if you were aware? Because sometimes we're not even aware of what we're going through.
Obviously, I was a very, I wouldn't say social person, but I had my circle and that was it. So when I started to expand into having like sessions with people I don't even know, just through word of mouth, it helped me grow as a person, number one. And also it opened my eyes to like the real world, because I was so small-minded, but the ideas that people put in my head and like the advice they gave me was like, you can actually do so much more with the little that you have. And like, because you're faithful with the little that you have, people are going to trust you, and you can be like a reliable brand in the future. But for me, still, I was very like iffy about it, and people who humbled me were obviously my parents, because they were just like, okay, what are you going to do for your career? And then after they started to see the results, they were like, okay, like you're actually making a career out of this. We do support it, but still have a backup plan. Yeah. But my motto always was, I don't want to have a backup plan, because it's not that I don't trust the backup plan. It's just I won't put my full heart into something if I know that there's going to be a backup. Yeah. If it's like, I'm going to put all into this, if I lose it, I lose it. It's like that. It's a very big risk, but in this case, it worked out in my favor.
Yeah. And that was, you were in kind of doing a lot of, you know, music commercially in the Tamil independent scene. You've worked with loads of independent artists, you've produced loads of their tracks. loads of them have gone, have done so well, not just in UK, not just in Europe, but globally, like you said. But it's beyond that. You've created your own music, and I've seen people, dance to it on all these social platforms, and it's like, oh, and it's an MJ Melodies track.
Yeah.
What was kind of that transition period for you, or when things changed, or your perception of music and the commercial scene, independent scene started to change?
It changed when like stuff like Reels came out, and all like short form content was something that really flipped my whole career on its side, because we went from making like 3 to 5 minute songs to making 15-30 second reels. And that's what helped me, because I always had ideas for like quick ideas. In terms of mixes, like since young I can always put like 2 songs in my head now, and okay, this goes together. And actually putting it on paper, and people are like, oh, like wow, like I never thought these 2 songs would go together.
Yeah,
it did give me some satisfaction, like okay, people aren't thinking like I'm thinking, I'm bringing something new to the table. And then obviously seeing people dance to it and all sorts, just doing crazy things with like something I made at home, it is like a proud moment. And that's what I'd say.
Yeah. And I think it was it beginning of this year or end of last year, if I'm correct, was when you decided and you made the announcement that you were stepping away from being MJ Melodies. And I think it was a shock to a lot of us, because we've, listened to you. How difficult of a choice was that? Because you've done so well, you were such a household name.
Well, it's like, it wasn't an overnight decision. Like it was not a split second decision either. It took time. It took a lot of back and forth. There's been times way early in my career where I've had the thought like, what am I doing? Just close the account and leave it. But I never had the urge to actually physically do it or go ahead with it. But this period, like it was like, okay, I wouldn't say it's a dark period, but it was a stressful period.
Yeah.
Because I had this expectation, I had so many things on my plate, and I started to lose the reason why I started music. The reason I started music is because I have a passion for music. When it came into something where like, if you don't do it, you're not gonna survive. It's like, it takes away the whole aspect of passion, the whole aspect of fun, and just, it takes the happiness out of music. And music makes me very happy. Like I can happily sit in my room and just listen or play music for hours and just like zone off. But when it came to like a professional viewpoint, it just felt very fake to me. It didn't feel like me, because I'm just like a simple person. And when this brand, or this whatever you want to call it, just started to grow, this image of me was created. Like for example, like MJ Melodies was created, but the real me is Meshach. So everyone was like, oh, MJ Melodies, MJ this, that, yeah, but only a few people knew Meshach. And that's what it was like. It was like a personality crisis. It was like, am I MJ or am I Meshach? And it clashed a lot.
Yeah.
But during this time, I was just finding like, it's gone too far now. It's like, I'm losing my identity of who I am because of something that I created, and because it's gone out of my control. Like no matter what I do, no matter how I try to cut down on things, it's always going to be there. So I was just like, this ain't me. I want to come back to myself. I want to come back to my family, because it's hard. It's very hard. Doing music full time was very, very stressful. Running a studio in central London was another headache. I would go home at like 3-4 a.m. My parents would be like, where did you go? I was like, I was at work, I was at a studio. They still never understood why sessions have to come so late. And when I first started my studio, it was actually at my house. So we had random people coming in, and they got overwhelmed, but then they also saw the financial benefit of it. So they were just like, they were a bit like, okay. But then when everything just started to go quiet, there was a period of like pure silence where I didn't get any songs, no mixes, nothing was coming to my head. And there was some other stuff that was going on as well. And I started to like lose track with my family, didn't really talk to them. sad because now I understand it from their point of view. They always used to say, oh, like, you don't talk that much, but now you've suddenly opened up. And I was like, this opened up me was what I was showing to my MJ Melodies side, but I was never showing it to my family because I was so reserved, and it should have been the opposite. And it was a decision I was just like, okay, I've had enough. Let's just get it over and done with. Whatever happens, happens. But it brought peace to me. So that's my main like win from this. Of course, like a lot of hours, a lot of money, a lot of things have gone into it. There's lots of attributes which have come, lots of wins, I would say. But above all of that, at the end of the day, I'm a human. I'm not a machine. And if I stop, someone else will come. So that's the reality of the industry. And I don't want to work myself until I'm just out of it. I want to stop, analyze my options, and go from there.
It's so good to hear that level of awareness, because I think that's so difficult to find in this day and age, because I feel like so many of us, especially in the creative kind of independent industry, whether that's music, dance in my case, I always have this conversation with like my close ones about the constant hamster wheel effect. And you mentioned like you're just surviving, and you felt detached to MJ Melodies, which was something you created, but you couldn't resonate with that, so to speak, after a point. What factors do you think contributed to that, whether that's external, internal?
I think just the speed that happened. It was I couldn't manage it. It was like, for example, like iDenti-Tea, there was another remix that hit like 500k streams in like 3 days, which stuff like I made for like in 5-10 minutes started going viral, and I was like, whoa, I don't know how to control this. And through like followers, through all of this stuff, new connections come, and like so many voices came on my head. And like one thing I'll say to anyone listening is be careful about who you let into your head, because it can change, or like it can shape your future. If someone's feeding you something which is not aligned with your path, you're going to end up going astray from what your purpose is. And for example, like when I wanted to take a break, or when I just things like getting too harsh on me, like people were like, oh no, don't stop, like you've got this to do, like this is your breaking point. But the reality is this is actually my physical breaking point. Like of course it's my breaking point in the industry, but I don't want to go into industry if I have no energy to provide for it. I'd rather keep my energy and spend it into what's worthwhile, and that's your family, that's your friends, and that's your life, that's your career. So that's what I'd say. And
just kind of touching up on that, because you mentioned there were loads of voices. Through fame, popularity, comes loads of acquaintances, friendships, which we think are friends, who may not be friends. But in that kind of zone, we think, I personally feel this, like everyone's our friend. But actually, when you take a step back, I'm like, actually, no, I've only got a handful of people who are there for me outside of this. And some of my closest friends, actually, most of my closest friends aren't even on, like they're not very au fait with all the social media stuff and all of that. How did you find that, and the voices, the acquaintances, friends and friendships?
Obviously I was young. I mean, I'm not saying I'm old now, but I was young.
You're still young.
So I got excited. I was just like, okay, look, I have all these friends, like I've got this many followers, like I'm living life, like this is someone's dream life. And stuff what like really pushed that ideology is like when like other producers or younger people like, oh, like I want to be like you, I want to do this, can you teach me, can you do this? But in my heart I was just like, do you really want to do you want to focus with this, like do you really want to go down the same path as me? Because I'm not happy. So I always, as in, it's not like I don't give advice, but I wouldn't push someone more than they push themselves. But yeah, in terms of like friendships and stuff, it's hard because I don't blame people, but people are going to be people. Like no one's gonna always have your side. And the sad reality is with I'm not saying everyone, but the Tamil independent scene, or just the Tamil creative scene in general, it's a use and abuse situation. If you're not helping them in any way, they don't need you.
I agree.
And like, it's sad because these are some of the people that you think would be there for the rest of your life. But you hit reality when you've stepped away, or you've taken a decision like, okay, like I don't want to do this anymore, is your massive network just goes down to like a handful. And it's sad, but then it's reality in any like in a job. If your boss doesn't like you, he'll fire you and you hire someone straight away. So I do understand, but then it's hard on the mental health side of things because you build relationships quick. And the things about quick relationships don't last. You need to go through hell with someone in order to go through long term. And when you have these relationships that were built on just the highs and they haven't experienced your lows, they won't last. That's what I'll say.
And I'm going to say it quite openly and honestly. I do feel like there's loads of friendships that just form based on how popular you are, and if you've got the clout, we'll be friends with you. And I've experienced this. I've been on both ends of it. It's taken a lot of reflection to come out and be like, you know what, they're acquaintances. I can have professional business relationships with them, but I don't need to go around labeling them as a friend, because that's something very meaningful. I don't know if you've felt the burden of the fame and popularity, whether that be when you were kind of at the peak of everything, but even now that you've stepped away, do you ever feel the burden of that fame and popularity that you built over the years?
100% did feel the burden, like you're saying, especially like when things start happening, which like first like working with a big artist or having like a deal or a record, straight away news goes around. For example, I worked with Sony Music for the Leo promo track with MC Sai and Maestro, and that was like a huge thing for me, because obviously everyone was hyping the Leo movie, and then me getting the call from Maestro saying like, we want you to be a part of the actual release, was like a huge thing for me. And my parents were just sat there watching, like there was like reviews of the music video, and they were just watching, and I just sat in the hall with them, and I was just like, wow, like they're watching a YouTube video about someone reacting to a video that I made the music for. And it was like a massive eye-opening moment. And I was just like, I never really understood the popularity aspect. I always used to think, okay, cool, I'm doing music, it's getting views, whatever. But when someone else tells me, it's like, whoa, like there's people that will tell me or DM me like, yeah, I'm from this country, I'm from that country, like we want to use your music for this. Like, for example, like one big thing that really blew my mind was there was a couple in Canada and they DM me and it was just like, we use your idea remix for our wedding video, and they were just like, can you come and play for us? So obviously I thought it was a UK couple, so I was just like, yeah, cool, send the address. And they sent like a Canadian address, and I was just like, sorry, I'm based in the UK, but it's like, no, we're really touched by your music. We want to fly you out to Canada.
Wow.
Like all expenses paid, and we want you to play for our wedding. It was like a 1 minute thing, but they had the heart, and they trusted and they believed in my music that much that they took me to Canada, and it was a massive eye-opening experience. And when I told my parents, they were just like, no, it's a scam. You know, but when they saw the tickets, everything booked, just like, wow. And so yeah, like small, like obviously that's not small, but things like that, it blew my mind. It's just like, wow, like something that you started when you're little, now you're getting like flights to different countries, and like people actually want to listen to your music. So yeah, it's overwhelming, but I obviously did have positive moments. So I did feel happy.
And how are things now, music wise, and how are you doing?
Okay, music wise, I'm not really doing anything at the moment. I feel like I have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing with me right now. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and even when I left music, it was quite sad because they were just like Meshach Mama never used to talk to us, but now he's left music, he's talking to us. So I would tell them all the stories about my music because they never knew anything about my music.
Yeah.
They knew that I was doing music, but they never knew in detail. So when I told them stories like, oh yeah, I went to this country, and I was like, wow, like you did all this, you never told us. And I was like, yeah, like I do feel bad, but that's why I'm spending like all my time and energy just rebuilding the relationship with my family, because that's what matters most.
Yeah.
And obviously rebuilding my life as well. Music is always going to be a part of my life.
Yeah.
So even if I stepped away from MJ Melodies, the music is still in me. So I could open a new account tomorrow and it would still be the same music.
Yeah.
But it's not about the account, it's not about the fame, it's not about that. It's about what's your purpose in life and are you happy? And that's a big thing that people are missing out on.
Yeah.
They jump on what's the hype. So remixes are the hype.
Yeah.
And people jump on it, but then after that they feel lost because there's no clear plan or there's no clear vision, and it's hard, obviously seeing everything and being like, okay, I'm not a part of it anymore. But then I also do see a benefit from it because I'm not going to use the word toxic, but it was like an unpredictable environment.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just have some certainty about what I'm doing with my life. So yeah.
Nice. And how would you define success? Kind of the MJ back then versus what success is for Meshach now?
I think now. I think now. Simply because no matter what amount of money, followers, whatever I had, if my own nephews and nieces are struggling to talk to me, that's no success to anyone. If my own family are struggling to open up to me, that's not successful. That's successful in the eyes of the world, but in the eyes of me or the people around me, that's a failure. And I'm not going to say I'm a failure because obviously there was success with my career, but in my purpose, I went away from it. So I had a clear purpose from young, but I diverted. And my older sister and brother-in-law, they always were not uncomfortable, but they always didn't really understand why I went down this route. Because they run a church, so they committed their whole lives to ministry, and they always used to be like Meshach, he grew up with us, he did all of this, but suddenly he just gone down this path, like it's so we don't understand. And they always used to be like, oh, one day you come back. Now I spend more time with them than my family, with my parents, and I never used to like them. I'll be deadly honest, I never used to like them because they always used to be not against, but they always used to say like, oh, like, why are you doing this? Even if it's a big success, it was like, just come back to who you are. I never deeped it then, but I deep it now. Because they're not saying it out of hurt, they're saying it out of love. And they just want me to be happy. And that's what matters most in this world, just being happy. Success to me is being grateful with the little that you have, and having a couple of people that you can call at any time, having a good family. And
you mentioned earlier on about peace, the fact that you're at peace, and I think personally when anyone asks me about success, I mean, that's the best response ever. Like the fact that you said you're at peace says a lot, because in this world that we're living in, whatever kind of field of work that we're in, finding peace is so difficult. And I think that peace is something that you're finding, you found obviously, but you're still in the process of finding. So that's actually really beautiful in itself. You obviously spoke about kind of the importance of faith, and that was a huge part in that transition period for you as well, based on my understanding. But tell me about faith for you, spirituality, religion.
That faith for me, I've always been a very spiritual person. Like since young, like when I was born, I think that same Sunday my parents took me to church, and like our whole family was so into God. So when I went down this route, everyone was so confused. It's funny because like I had a whole community of like Tamil Christian people against me. I was never invited to any of. Obviously, they knew I played keyboard and stuff, but they were just like, "Oh, you can't be playing in a club and then coming to church and doing all this." So there was a lot of friction. They all did it out of love, but at that time I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I just felt like everyone was against me, besides the people who were accepting me for doing music. So I was just like, okay, cool. Let me just continue. And it was actually last year. It was when everything was going quiet, and I was just thinking. I was just like, the truth is, I wasn't taught to play keyboard. I wasn't. This is not something I learned. This is a gift from God.
Yeah.
So if I was given a gift from God, why am I not giving it back to him? And it was just like, a realization was, I want to dedicate the music that I do purely to God, because I just feel like the God that I worship, he loves music, and he created music for people to be in a like sense of peace, to go through situations. Like, I've gone through so many situations, like crying and playing the keyboard because I couldn't express it into words.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to rededicate it, and there was an experience which happened at our church. So it was last like September-ish, and I was completely away from anything at church. I still used to go every Sunday, but I was so disconnected. I would leave straight away and go to studio and come back home at like silly times. And there were like a group of young people at church, and I never really talked to them. They all knew me. They all knew what I did, but they were scared to talk to me because they just felt like there was a level of respect. And it's sad because they couldn't open up to me, or they couldn't talk to me purely because of, I would say, my pride, or what I wouldn't say ego, but like just my selfish desires. So what happened was there was this meeting, and my brother-in-law, he was leading, and he told me, okay, like I was right at the back, and he was just like, can you just come up and pray? I just feel like God's telling you to pray. So I'm praying, and like before I even say anything, I just start crying because it's been years since I've been at the front, and like before I always used to do everything at church. It's been years since I've been at the front, holding the mic, and the first thing that came into my mind, and I said it out loud, was, it's time to step off your platform and put God first. And that was like a massive like brick to the head. I was just like, whoa. And I didn't realize it, but I realized it a bit after. When I started MJ Melodies, it was originally called God First Productions.
Okay.
So that was like like an awakening moment. It's like, this was meant to be for God, and you just took it and made something for yourself. And it was like a big realization, and I'm very, very grateful that I found it earlier, because I could have ignored it, and I could have just gone into God knows what. I could have been successful, but I would have maybe lost my peace, everything. So after that, I just made a decision, like, cool, it's time, this is it. Like, I can't be any clearer. Like, God's literally saying, just step off your platform and come back to God. So I made the decision, like, okay, cool, I'm gonna close the account. And I went to Australia. I went to Australia for a few months, and that was like a big refresh for me, because even when I went there, my brother used to tell, he lives in Australia, so he used to tell the people like about what I do. So when I went there, everyone was like, oh my God, like, you left music, this, that. And me talking about my transition, or like this experience, really uplifted them, because some of them were going through a similar situation. Some of them were a bit like confused about what to do with their life. So it was amazing to like have so many like insightful conversations with people about my experience. And even though it may be a small experience, like, it actually changed people's lives, and they felt inspired by it. And that was like a really nice feeling for me. And yeah, so now I just purely make music for God. So I have this series called Presence, and it's basically just like completely unplanned, just me and a keyboard, or me and another keyboardist, and I just basically worship or sing whatever comes to my head, and uplift God. And through that, I was actually able, by the grace of God, to have like a live version of it. And over 100 people came, which was crazy, because obviously the whole Tamil Christian community was against me.
Yeah.
But to see everyone come together and just worship God together it was just such an amazing feeling. Like I can't. There's no stage, there's no song, there's no amount of money that can bring that satisfaction than something like that.
And I saw clips of that experience that you created as well, and there was so much unity.
Yeah.
And it was just so beautiful to see, and it's so nice to see this kind of version of you as well grow and blossom, and I'm looking forward to seeing kind of how that continues to grow further.
Yeah.
What are your goals now, whether it be for music or otherwise? What are your goals and what are you working towards?
Goals right now is just build myself up, because obviously having that as a full-time career and then suddenly leaving was a big thing. Even like financially it was crazy, because I had to let go of the studio. There's so many financial commitments that came with it, and having no income after I came back from Australia was a big hit. But then it also gave me the time to focus on myself a lot. There was so much realization which happened in this time, me being away from the real world and just me and myself, and finding out more about myself. I've learned a lot more about myself in this time away from music than I have during music.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't myself during music. So, but that's what I'll say.
And you mentioned purpose a lot, and working towards a purpose, and whatever we do, make sure we do it with purpose. If you want to, if you feel comfortable sharing it, what is your purpose right now?
My purpose right now is to, like you said, unite people through music. Doesn't matter what religion you're from.
Yeah.
Music doesn't have like words. If it's pure music, it doesn't have words.
Yeah.
A song or a piece of music can make someone cry, make someone happy, make someone depressed. It can bring emotion.
Yeah.
So if my music is used for the right purpose, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And in terms of just outside of, your day-to-day, what are your hobbies and interests right now? What do you turn to just chill and have fun?
I love my food.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I love exploring like new restaurants and stuff, and just anything on TikTok would just come in. I like that. I like traveling. I did used to like traveling. So I do want to get back into traveling. But right now, mostly just spending my time with my family, taking my nephews and nieces out, and just like I said, like regaining the time that I've lost, and just bringing them back. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. So we are coming to the end of our chat today.
Yeah.
But before I wrap up, I normally do like a final 5. So I just pick 5 very random words, and you just tell me a word or a phrase that comes into your mind straight away. Okay. So we'll start with food.
Food, sushi.
Okay, nice. Travel.
Dubai.
Okay. Music.
Piano.
Family.
Nephews and nieces.
God.
Love.
Nice. Is there anything else you wanted to say to those who are watching? Because I know loads of people, this is the first time you've sat down and had a chat with anyone about your journey so far.
Yep.
Is there anything, kind of final words that you wanted to share with anyone who may be struggling in finding their purpose? Because I think what you've done and what you've said, you've literally aligned with your words. You're literally like, actions speak louder than words. Your actions prove the importance of having a purpose. Is there anything that you want to say that you may have maybe missed out in this conversation?
I would just say, if you want to step into something that you feel like this is what I want to do in my life, take some time to think about it, because you need to know what you're stepping into. Don't just step in blindly. And also, I don't know why, but I just keep getting reminded of this. Be careful about who you let into your ear, because they can shape your future. As much as you shape your future, just one word can deter you from your destiny, or it can bring you towards your destiny. So have the right people around you, have the right support system. Always have in your mind why you started this or why you're doing this, and don't be afraid. Things will happen, people will overtake you, but don't be discouraged. You focus on your journey, you focus on your path, and when you focus on your path, everything around you becomes blurry. So just stay focused, have fun, and talk to your family.
Thank you so much.
worries.
That was so beautiful. Honestly, I didn't have much to say. I was taking in everything that you said. It's something that I'm going to reflect on a lot as well. And I can see that you've reflected so much on life, and in comparison to me, obviously at such a young age for you, I'm like, wow, so much reflection has gone into every decision that you're making at the moment, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for being here today.
No worries, thank you for having me.
No, thank you, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you, grow your musical community.
Yes.
And bring about the peace across all of us.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching another episode of iDenti-Tea with Praveena. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, because I learned so much, and I think there's a lot of take-home messages that I'm going to be, reflecting on. I'll see you at the next episode, but before that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because there's a lot of very different content coming out like I mentioned before, that's going to be aligned with my career professionally, artistically, in the very near future. So I'll see you at the next video. Until then, bye.
That was so good.
Record button.
Oh, sorry.